Hello, I'm Draco, and welcome back to my stream. Sorry about that. I was doing something else and couldn't work out what was going on. Okay. Last week we started Dragon Age Inquisition. Unfortunately, it crashed, and I was unhappy with that because I don't know how often it's going to do it. So I've decided to do something different. So today we're going to revisit an old Xbox 360 game that I was reminded of recently. So without further ado, let's get going. Make sure the capture card is actually yeah. Excellent. Right, okay. Okay, so start, shall we? Yeah. Just taking its time. Okay. Bit of fire. That kind of hurt. So I need to heal. Turn.
Okay.
Again, just to be sure.
Okay.
Come on, can't be much more. There we go. Finally.
Darker! What's happening? I've never seen this before.
Oopsies. I think we're all going to die. Well, not all of us. When my character dies, it's kind of a short film. Right, so be safe. I override that because that's another game I didn't get very far with. Magical zombies.
Let's take him now.
No, I don't need to see the tutorial. Oh, how I need to. Wait, where's ring? Oh, done it automatically. At least. Okay, stay away from the red floor. The red floor hurts.
Let's take him now.
Good to know. Ah. Should have taken the tutorial. Never mind.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Let's see what I need to do for that. Not there. Okay, it's never going to tell me again. Great. That's good to know. I may have knackered myself. I'll find it. What was that we were at? My mouth seems to be stuck open for a second. Oh. See if I can't deal with that. Is it picking up on noise? No, that's not it. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Right, back to the game.
No one gets in my way.
Right, okay. Know what I'm doing now.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Okay, so
See anything?
See. Maybe under the... Yeah.
Good. Let me help.
Hold this. I'm gonna die.
Hey. Hey.
What?
That guy over there. He's still alive. Huh? Hey, you!
What about the others? You alone?
What's your name? Your unit?
Second Lieutenant Kaim Argonar, Commander, 17th Platoon, Armored Magic Troopers.
It's a miracle you made it. Come with me. This way. Unbelievable. One survivor.
Yeah. Amazing he made it out safe. Especially in that outfit.
well, they don't like my outfit. I'm upset. No, I don't need doing this anymore. There's a damaged box down here. Aha. Can't hide healing medicine from me. Haha. Right. Okay. Yep. It's a button. Yeah, just make another bruiser ring. I don't need another bruiser ring. Not yet, anyway. So,
We're pulling out! Let's move!
off we go to the town.
That's Officer Seth Balmore with the 43rd Magic Division. She's like you. She got out in one piece.
Really? You two are walking miracles. Hey,
Here's where you get off, Lieutenant.
The Council wishes to hear from a survivor, sir. Sorry, not you, Officer Balmore.
hey, I'm a survivor too.
The Council has only summoned Lieutenant Argonar. Sit down and shut up.
Well,
Way
that's
to
just
talk to a lady.
This way, Lieutenant. Follow me.
Let's see what's in these before we go up. Right. In the wrong button. Assembly. Climbing. That's no use, isn't it? Let's do a bit of exploring. Okay, guess we can't. Fair enough. At least I know there was nothing up there. Right. The main lift. Let's have a look around here. No, nothing to interact with, so might as well follow these guys. These guys onto the skiff.
Hey, you're that guy, right? The soldier that can't die. The 17th Division. That was the front line. They were smack in the middle of the Wall Highlands. No one could have survived that meteor crash. But here you are, without a scratch.
Beg your pardon, Lieutenant, but it's really strange. The few we were able to save were far from the center of impact, and even those men were seriously injured. It's hard to believe that anyone could have survived that inferno.
Then don't believe it.
The Council won't like that attitude. Come on, tell us. How'd you make it?
I think him as deserter.
30 years ago, a new power manifested itself onto the world. With its discovery came the magic industrial revolution. This power came to be called magic energy. Even now, there are none who can explain why this power, a power that merely lay buried within all living creatures, suddenly flourished as it did. Today, this magic energy permeates every corner of the world. It has changed the way people live, transformed the shape of industry, and has even altered the nature of war.
Is it true the Kents have requested a truce?
Indeed. We heard that enough men were committed to cover the Wall Highlands and that most of the Kent force were eliminated. This war was started by them. It's only right they withdraw.
We've also lost a tremendous number of troops. After suffering such a devastating loss, if the Goza were to strike now, there would be no way we could defend our country.
And there are also whispers that Goza was pulling strings behind the invasion.
What makes you think that the Goza were involved?
We have confirmed that a large amount of military hardware has been moved from Goza to Kent. We assume Goza plans to use Kent to keep things stirred up and destabilize Ura.
Are you saying that even the Meteor crash was a Gotsan plot?
My lord, I have some disturbing information on that subject. We suspect that a situation at Grandstaff may have caused the Meteor crash.
Grandstaff? This is not the first time the stories about it have reached my ears.
This is not confirmed, but magic energy may have leaked out of Grandstaff, interfered with something in outer space, and precipitated this disaster.
Gongora!
Yes, my lord.
The Grandstaff falls under your jurisdiction. Do you have anything to say?
Nothing for the moment. Where did you get this information? Construction of Grandstaff is going smoothly.
Now that the forces of Ura have suffered such devastating losses, I think we have no other way to protect our land except with the magic energy that Grandstaff will provide. We should hold off on debating the pros and cons of Grandstaff until we've thoroughly reviewed the world's current situation.
What you say makes sense. But our plan to use magic energy is a double-edged sword. With all sorts of rumors flying around, we might want to halt construction of Grandstaff.
What?
Only temporarily. As soon as it's clear that Grandstaff had nothing to do with the Meteor collision, we'll resume construction immediately, Gongora.
Right, okay, so let's have a look around. We kick these? No. We can kick this though. Engraved ring. No, can't do anything else here. That's what I did, so let's go up these. Or down. Down's just as good.
This factory has been working on developing a magic train for quite some time, and thanks to this new device, they say that we could see a much more advanced train in the very near future. Northern nation Goza has already completed development of their own magic train, and up until now there has been criticism that our own Uber research was falling behind. However, this
okay. Let's see if there's anything here that we can click into. No, nothing there. No. Okay, let's keep going forward then. Angel plume, excellent. Hey, our first seed. I must pick up the list for them. Do in a minute. I think that's a wind ring.
Well done. You may leave. Lieutenant Kaim Argonar, we thank you for a job well done. I am Roxian, chairman of the Central Council of Ura. Well, Lieutenant, it seems people are calling you the Immortal. We've heard there were almost no survivors from Ura or Kent after the meteor crashed on the Highlands, and yet you appear to be unharmed, even though you were presumably at the precise point of impact. Tell me, how did you survive?
I don't know.
My lord, please allow me to explain.
Fine. Speak.
Thank you, my lord. Actually, this man is immortal thanks to my magic energy. He is under a spell of immortality that I conjured.
I wish to know more. This immortality spell, how does it work?
I don't know.
What? Are you saying that you don't know about the spell cast on you?
I don't remember. I recalled nothing.
My lord, this man has lost his memory. However, he is skilled in magic energy. So I have been studying his abilities.
Then what can you tell us, Gongora?
With all due respect, my lord, the spell is a curse. It is said that merely hearing it brings death near. For the safety of everyone, it is better that the spell be kept secret.
Very well. Since I trust your studied opinion, I shall take your word that we should not know the spell. Death is determined by fate, and one cannot fight it. Lieutenant, since it seems that you cannot be killed, the Council would like to bestow a special mission on you. We want you to go to Grandstaff.
My lord.
Gongora, you cannot keep this hidden any longer. Till now, construction has been left up to you, but we've lost contact with the site.
It's just that...
Gongora! Until we can confirm the Grandstaff project is safe, construction shall be suspended.
Yes, my lord.
So now, Lieutenant Argonar. You know of Grandstaff, under construction in the Sea of Bas?
I've heard that it's a magic staff.
Yes, it is. As you just heard, all communications with the site have been cut off for some time now. Considering the danger from magic energy leaks, we suspect that no one can investigate the possible cause, except someone immortal.
Well, there is someone else.
What did you say?
At the Wall Highlands, another immortal. Her name is Balmor.
Well then, this other one shall accompany you. I shall summon her. Quickly, make the arrangements!
Right away, my lord.
My lord, pardon me for saying this, but I'm building Grandstaff for the sake of our nation and its people.
Enough! We will await Kaim's return and report.
Of course, my lord.
You are dismissed, Lieutenant.
That didn't go as well as it should have done. Right, okay. Magma fragment. Them is so far valuables 3. What about this guy? Are you open? Right, okay, so we can't get back to that one yet. Done that one, done that one. Okay, so we need the tavern first. Got the two in this section. This the tavern? Yes, this is the tavern. There's one in the inn, which is the blue dot.
And now, counselors, I propose that Gongora be removed from Grand Staff Project, with control transferred to this council.
My lord.
In addition, until Lieutenant Argonar completes his investigation, I propose that Gongora be confined to his residence under surveillance. Those who disagree with my proposal, raise your hands now.
It appears I have no choice but to agree.
I see there are no objections. It is decided.
Right, okay, so should this pop? That should be the seed. It is. And do I need to speak to the guy? Probably. Yep.
As Kaim slips into deep sleep, his dream unfolds. A dream or his past. At this moment, there is no way he could know.
Ooh. family members have tears in their eyes, and when they welcome Kaim back to the inn from his long journey, thank you so much for coming. He understands the situation immediately. The time of departure draws near. Too soon, too soon. But still he knows this day would have to come sometime, not in the distant future. I might never see you again, she said to him with a sad smile when he left on his journey. Her smiling face almost transparent in its whiteness, so fragile, and therefore indescribably beauty as she lay in the bed. May I see Hannah now? He asks. The innkeeper gives him a tiny nod and says, I don't think she'll know who you are though. She hasn't opened her eyes since last night. He warns Kaim. You can tell from the slight movements in her chest that she is clinging to a frail thread of light. But it could snap at any moment. It's such a shame. I know you made a special point to come here for her. Another tear glides down the wife's cheek. Never mind, it's fine, Kaim says. He has been present at innumerable deaths, and his experience has taught him much. Death takes away the power of speech at first, then the ability to see. What remains alive to the very end, however, is the power to hear. Even though the person has lost consciousness, it is by no means unusual for voices of the family to bring forth smiles or tears. Kaim puts his arm around the woman's shoulder and says, I have lots of travel stories to tell her. I've been looking forward to this my whole life on the road. Instead of smiling, the woman releases another large tear and nods at Kaim. And Hannah was so looking forward to hearing your stories. Her sobs almost drown out her words. The innkeeper says, I wish I could urge you to rest up from your travels before you see her, but... Kaim interrupts his apology. Of course, I'll see her right away. There is very little time left. Hannah, the only daughter of the innkeeper and his wife, will probably breathe her last breath before the sun comes up. Kaim lowers his pack to the floor and quietly opens the door to Hannah's room. Hannah was frail from birth. Far from enjoying the opportunity to travel, she rarely left the town and even the neighbourhood in which she was born and raised. This child will probably not live to adulthood, the doctor told her parents. To this tiny girl with extraordinary beauty, doll-like features, the gods have dealt all too sad destiny. That they have allowed her to be born the only daughter of innkeepers in a small inn by the highway was perhaps one small act of atonement for inequality. Hannah was unable to go anywhere, but the guests who stayed at her parents' inn would tell her stories of countries and towns and landscapes, people that she would never know. Whenever a new guest arrives in the inn, Hannah would ask them, where are you from? Where are you going? Can you tell me a story? She would sit and listen to their stories with sparkling eyes, urging them on to new episodes with, and then they left the inn. She would beg them, please come back and tell me lots and lots of stories about faraway countries. She would stand waving until the person disappears far down the highway, give one lonely sigh and go back to bed. Hannah is sound asleep. No one else is in the room, perhaps an indication that she has long since passed the stage when the doctor can do anything for her. Kaim sits down in the chair next to the bed and says with a smile, hello Hannah, I'm back. She does not respond. Her little chest, still without the swelling of a grown woman, rises and falls almost imperceptibly. I went far across the ocean this time, he tells her. The ocean on the side where the sun comes up. I took a boat from the harbour way far beyond the mountains you can see from this window. I was on the sea from the time the moon was perfectly round till it got smaller and smaller and then bigger and bigger until it was full again. There was nothing but the ocean as far as the eye could see, just the sea and the sky. You can imagine it, Hannah. Can you imagine it, Hannah? You've never seen an ocean, but I'm sure people have told you about it. It's like a huge, big, endless puddle. Kaim chuckles to himself. It seems to him that Hannah's pale white cheeks move slightly. She can hear him, even if she cannot speak or see. Her ears are still alive. Believing and hoping this to be true, Kaim continues the story as he travels. He speaks no words of parting. As always with Hannah, Kaim smiles with a special gentleness he has never shown anybody else, and he goes on telling her tales with a bright voice, sometimes even accompanying his story with exaggerated gestures. He tells her of the blue oceans, the blue sky. He tells her about the blue skies. He says nothing about the violent battle that stained the ocean red. He never tells her about those things. Hannah is still a tiny girl when Kaim first visited the inn. When she asked him, Where are you from, and will you tell me stories? With a childish pronunciation and innocent smile, Kaim felt a soft glow in his chest. At the time, he was returning from battle. More precisely, he had ended one battle and was on his way to the next. His life consisted of travelling from one battlefield to another, and nothing about that has changed to this day. He has taken the lives of countless enemy troops and witnesses the deaths of countless comrades on battle. Moreover, the only thing separating enemies from comrades is a slight stroke of fortune. Had the gears of destiny turned in ever so slightly different way, his enemies would have been comrades and his comrades his enemies. This is the fate of the mercenary. He was spiritually worn down back then and feeling unbearably lonely. As a possessor of eternal life, Kaim had no fear of death, which was precisely why each of the soldiers' faces distorted in fear, and why each face of a man died in agony was burned permanently into his brain. Ordinarily, he would spend nights on the road drinking, immersing himself in an alcoholic stupor or pretending to. He was trying to make himself forget the unforgettable. When, however, he saw Hannah's smile as she begged him for stories about his long journey, he felt a far warmer and deeper comfort than he could ever obtain from liquor. He told her many things, about the beautiful flowers he discovered on the battlefield, about the bewitching beauty of the mists filling the forest the night before the final battle, of the marvellous taste of spring water in the ravine where he and his men had fled after losing a battle, about vast bottomless blue sky he saw after the battle. He never told her anything sad. He kept his mouth shut about the human ugliness and the stupidity of witnessing endlessly on the battlefield. He concealed his position as a mercenary, kept silent regarding the reasons for travelling consistently, and spoke only of those things that were beautiful and sweet and lovely. He sees now that he told Hannah only beautiful stories of the road, like this is not so much about a concern for purity, but out of his own sake. Staying in the inn where Hannah waited to see him turned out to be one of Kaim's small pleasures in life. Telling her about memories he brought back from his journeys, he felt some degree of salvation, however slight. 5 years, 10 years, his friendship with the girl continued. Little by little, she neared adulthood. which meant that, as the doctors had predicted, each day brought her much closer to death. And now Kaim ends last travel story he will share with her. He can never see her again. He can never tell her stories again. Before dawn, the darkness of the night is at its deepest. Long pauses enter into Hannah's breathing. Frail thread of her life is about to snap as Kaim and her parents watch over her. The tiny light that is lodged in Kaim's breast will be extinguished, and his lonely journeys will begin again tomorrow. His long travels without end. You'll be leaving on your travels soon, Hannah, Kaim tells her gently. You'll be leaving for a world that no one knows, a world that has never entered into any of the stories you have heard so far. Finally, you'll be able to leave your bed and walk anywhere you want to go. You'll be free. He wants her to know that death is not sorrow, but joy mixed with tears. It's your turn now. Be sure to tell everyone about the memories of your journey. Her parents will make the same journey someday, and someday Hannah will be able to meet all the guests she has known at the inn far beyond the sky. I, however, can never go there. I can never escape this world. I can never see you again. This is not goodbye. It is just the start of your journey. He speaks his final words to her. We'll meet again. His final lie to her. Hannah makes her departure. Her face is transfused with a tranquil smile, as if she had just said, "See you soon." Her eyes will never open again. A single tear glides slowly down her cheek. The end.